All right. So I have 1:05 on my clock here. Okay. I'm just checking the chat. So yeah, thank you Paul for coming. It's an exciting opportunity to be able to talk to everyone here, working with AERA and hopefully speaking to some people internationally. So, if it's really early in the morning for you or if it's really late at night, thank you for joining. I'm happy to have you here. Throughout the talk, please feel free to Brad, if you want to test your mic, that's more than fine.
Yeah, can you hear me okay, Raymond?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right, good.
Thank you. But yeah, throughout the meeting, feel free to drop something in the chat if you have something that you'd like to talk on. If you have a question that you'd like to answer, feel free to put it in the chat or in the Q&A. I'll be monitoring both of those closely during the session. If you need to run out, feel free to run out. This will be a recorded session, so it'll be posted in AERA somewhere on the site shortly, and I'll communicate those things with you. So let's get started. This is slated for an hour. I won't say it'll take the entire hour. The presentation itself is quite short, but I wanted to give people time to ask questions and kind of get to know what the AERA is doing, especially in the Early Career Mentoring Committee for Division H. But also feel free to just shoot me any questions that you have. So let me get started. So who am I? I'm Raymond. I'm the chair along with Dr. Jason Zhang, who's the co-chair. So together we've been working on this committee for about a year. I've actually been the Early Career Mentoring Committee for a couple of years. So this program is something that we wanted to bring back for a few years now. COVID, of course, made things a little bit difficult. So we haven't had the participation like we have hoped, only because, we've really been trying to be aware of what's going on and work with people's desires. So when AERA came back to Chicago last year, that was kind of the start of things, getting the ball rolling again. So for me, I was a school psychologist in schools, worked in Virginia and in Texas, mostly with, in K through 12 schools, but I also worked in the penitentiaries for a little while. And then I came to AERA as a school psychologist. Since then, I've also enrolled in a doctoral program. So I'm at the University of California, Irvine in the education department. So, feel free to hit me up there too. And then this is Dr. Jason Zhang. He's an amazing professor at Florida Gulf Coast University, outstanding co-chair, just an incredible person overall. So if you have any questions about any of this stuff, or if you'd like to just reach out, please feel free to do so. At the end of this, I'll post some of the information that I have regarding what my email address is. So what is the Early Career Mentoring Committee and what is it that we do? So the Early Career Mentoring Committee in general works with late stage graduate students, doctorate students, those in specialist programs, people who are really gonna go to the job market here soon in some capacity. We also work with early career professionals. So they could be, assistant professors. They could be people who are working in industry, people really within their first 5 or so years of work, who are still learning how to get the ball rolling at their job, maybe exploring new career options, maybe where you went wasn't exactly what you want to do. So we really want to provide the opportunity for people to get experience in a variety of settings, which can be hard. So this program specifically will help that to occur. So we do engagement through activities designed for outreach and to support Division H. So if you aren't a member of Division H, totally feel free to sign up. If you have any questions, hit me up. So as I was saying, this is kind of for people who are assistant professors. There might be a research scientist, postdoc, whatever your title is. If you're about to graduate and hit the job market, or if you recently started working, this is kind of the place you want to be for early career mentoring. Division H as a whole is an outstanding division, and I wouldn't go anywhere else. So what does early career mentorship for this program look like? As I was saying, this is a little bit, I made this earlier. So designed for those graduating in 2022, June, or within the first 3 years following their graduate program. Those bounds have been loosened a little bit, especially with the June 2022 thing that has since passed. So if you're graduating upcoming in June 23, or, you know, within your first 5 years following their graduate program, whether it's PhD, specialist, master's, things like that. We will only want to hook up with you and, you know, see what we can do to help you and get you that experience that you're looking for. So for the program, the applicants that we're looking for will be paired with an experienced individual in the field. So Division H, we deal with research, evaluation, assessment. That's the Division H's theme. You know, that can look research, I mean, can look like a whole bunch of different things. So I'm sure that a lot of you have plenty of research experience, have worked with other researchers in the fields, in different fields. You know, so don't allow the research evaluation assessment part to throw you off. If you think that that fits, or if you're unsure, totally hit me up. And I'd be happy to discuss that with you and link you up with the right people. And what we want to do is support that transition from academia to an applied setting. For anyone who's been in a program for a number of years, you know that it's stressful, it's long, there's a lot going on all the time. So whenever you finally graduate, it can kind of be a scary awakening. You know, it's like, well, what do I do next? Who do I link up with next? I knew what to do. I had an advisor. Do I need an advisor in a university setting or in an industry setting? How do I make that happen? We're here to kind of facilitate those things. And then the last thing, you have to be a Division H member. You know, like I said, I'll reiterate throughout this program or session, if you're not a member, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to do things for you. So the program specifically, we want to sponsor about 3 to 5 day visit for an individual to visit a mentor's workplace to learn about challenges and rewards of the work. And we'll go a little bit more into what that looks like. So this is a funded experience. So this is the first time in several years that this program is kicking back on. So we'd like for it to be, you know, have broad participation, and it's open to international individuals as well. So I don't know if anyone here has joined internationally, but you know, don't feel like you're left out. I definitely love for you to apply, and we'd love to talk to you. So, but yeah, we'll fund travel, hotel, food within reason, of course, but you know, you might not stay at the Four Seasons, but we'll get you a place and we'll get you there, and we'll feed you. So we definitely want you to have a good experience, not have to worry about the stresses of everything, especially with COVID still going on. I mean, then now there's other things, RSV and everything else going on. So you know, we take the appropriate precautions, and if you have any ideas or any concerns, totally feel free to reach out and let us know. So afterwards, we're expecting that mentees will summarize their experiences for Division H. This can be in the form of a newsletter type of thing, in a presentation. There, you know, we're open to however you want to discuss it. But the reason is we're trying to kick this program back on. So for these people who we accept and who participate in this program, we would like for you to kind of be ambassadors. So you'll be, in a sense, like a first cohort of this thing in quite a while. So, you know, it's something that we'd like to keep going. So whenever you go and you do your thing, we'd like for you to be able to at least talk about it and encourage others to do it if you enjoyed it. And if you have negative feedback, you know, that's something I totally want to hear as well. So at our next conference coming up, which I forget where it's at the moment, but you know, if you're there, we'd like for you to present 3 to 5 minutes at the next conference, and we'll make some space for you. If you can't make it, which is totally understandable, you know, we're open to maybe doing a Zoom call, a pre-recorded video type thing, just something. So again, we can get your face out there, show the people who we're accepting, who, you know, is meeting up with what mentors, what's going on, things like that. Really just promotional stuff to help the people behind you. So this is my contact information, along with Dr. Jason Zangs. So, you know, there wasn't a whole lot into this. Again, this program hasn't been around for as long as we like and is active. So I didn't really have much to put in there at the moment. But I'd love to answer any questions, anything in the chat. I know it was quite a short presentation now that I'm looking at the time, but if anyone has any questions about anything, I'd totally love to hear from you. And of course, I'll stick around for the entirety of this. Brad or Jason, I don't know if you have anything that you'd like to speak on or anything that you'd like to add, but feel free to do so.
Yeah, I'll just jump in, Raymond. You hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for kind of revitalizing this. As Raymond mentioned, this is something that used to occur with regularity several years ago, and it kind of fell off the radar for a while. And although the webinar today was pretty much targeted as potential participants in terms of late stage graduate students and early career folks who are interested in kind of finding out what a day in the life is like, perhaps in the kind of position that they aspire to, or maybe an industry that they're trying to make a lateral move into, and into academia from, a research center, or into a research center from an academic setting, whatever the case might be. Once we get a sense of interest in the process, and Raymond's going to be sending out the application information pretty soon here. We also have to recruit hosts from other Division H members. So it's kind of we're going to try and, if you have someone that you want to work with, you can feel free to let Raymond know that when you apply. But the other thing that we'll do is we'll solicit potential hosts from our larger membership to say, hey, would you be willing to host a mentee for 3 or 4 days at your place of work, and kind of show them the ropes and let them have a sense of what the experience is like, to know whether or not the work that you do is something that they might enjoy. So that'll be another part of this process once we get a sense of interest from the mentor side, or the mentee side, to recruit the mentors to match those folks up. And that'll be occurring, over the next few weeks and maybe month or so after this process kind of gets underway. So I just wanted to add that part as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Brad. No, that's great. There's also some questions. So Celeste, I'd like to answer. Oh, Sodergren, actually, you sound familiar. So the kinds of places you can visit is really, we're open to a variety of different places. That could be anywhere from a university setting to a specific research setting. That could be school districts. So, there might be school psychologists here, there might be counselors, there might be clinical psychologists, really people involved with this research, evaluation, and assessment. So we're not closing off any type of setting per se. If you wanted to mentor at a local landscape or something, we might have to talk about that and see how that would fit into the bigger picture. But overall, what we're trying to do is get that experience for late stage grad students and early career people to have that variety of experience in different settings. So I hope that answers your question. If not, totally let me know. All right, Elise, if I'm saying that wrong, totally let me know, please. So it says, I'm sorry if I missed this. What's the application entail? Yeah, great question. So the application will open soon. I just want to get some approvals done and all that. But the application, well, really, some basic demographic information. I'm looking at it on another screen. Some basic demographic information. And then, as with any application, there's some questions, some open-ended questions. There's 4 of them. So they're pretty small, 1,500 to 1,000 to 1,500 characters each. One of them is, what are your career goals? So, we like to be able to pair you appropriately with people that maybe already doing what your career goals are, or something closely related. Another one's, what do you look for in a mentor? And that's, of course, to be able to pair you appropriately with the right person. And when you complete these, there should be a question as if you have a mentor in mind. If you don't, great. If you do, feel free to drop their name in this application, and we can reach out to see if they'd be open, kind of what Brad was discussing. We do have a pool of people here in the Division H and A area in general who are just amazing individuals, very accomplished. So if we can pair you with the right person, great. But if you have someone in mind, that's great too. Another question is, what would you like to gain from the experience as a mentee? That can be a variety of things, whether it's research experience, just want to see what they're doing in their day-to-day, networking opportunities. So, you're not going to be there for 3 or 4 months, and, it's not going to be enough time for a project, but you'll be there for a few days in theory, and, be able to at least meet with some people, have some lunch and dinner. And of course, when the mentors, when we meet with them, there'll be budgets for different things like that, so that, you'll be able to have those experiences. And then one of the last open-ended questions would be, please describe your work or research interest. Pretty typical question. And that's, again, just so we can pair you with somebody that we think would align closely with those values that you have. Otherwise, it's really just demographic. There's some things about travel and health information, just so I want to make sure that catering to the needs of people, especially if they have different needs, and just a current version of your CV or resume. I thought about doing letters of rec for like late stage grad students, but everyone's getting to this point where they're going to kind of be the person in charge, and letters of rec are great, but I don't think that they should be relied upon necessarily. I hope that answers your question. Let me see. How long does the mentor program last? What are the expectations for mentees? This by Andy. Yeah, great question. So the mentor program itself will last, we're hoping 3 to 5 days, somewhere in that ballpark. Like I said, nothing so long that you're almost working there. It's nothing like that. It's meant to get that experience as a mentee, either in a new setting or a setting that you were hoping to be in, get some of that networking. And so what we're really trying to do is help people with that transition from either being a late stage grad student or being in an early career, and help them to broaden some of those experiences. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Anonymous attendee, can current doctoral students with a graduation, they also apply? Yeah, sure. I mean, totally go for it. If we come across an application, it's just so far, if your graduation date is 2026, maybe we might have to put that one on a little bit of a back burner because it's geared towards that transition period for people. But it also depends on the number of applications. If we get 100, we might start prioritizing those who are about to graduate or who have just recently graduated. But yeah, no, totally. And it's a free application, it wouldn't hurt you. But yeah, absolutely. Great question though. Let me see. I got some. Celeste, yeah, we did meet last year. I actually meant to contact you. Okay. Send us to the U.S. Capitol to work with the Department of Ed. Hey, that's a great question. That's actually a question that Brett and I had discussed briefly prior, and the main hurdle for that would be to have a contact there. And when it comes to U.S. Capitol and Department of Education, I don't know about the DOE, but in government buildings, there's sometimes security clearance issues. So you might have to go through a more lengthy process in terms of a background check. And I'm just guessing, thinking of maybe the worst possible barrier, but that would be my only thought. But yeah, I mean, if we can get the connect there and also get the appropriate paperwork and whatever we need to do for that, I'd love to have somebody at the Capitol, absolutely, for the DOE. So let me see. It was students slated to finish 2024. Would this program be beneficial to students finishing coursework or benefit student? Oh, well, that's a good question. So if somebody's later in their dissertation phase, of course, that's kind of who we're targeting, those in early career. But August 24 is around the corner. This is also a program that we would like to have every year, if possible, depending on all plethora of things, funding and viruses, apparently. But so if you put in your application now, you're not selected, don't let it get you. There's going to be another round, but 2024 is not crazy far away. It's 2 years. But there's individual circumstances that may warrant specific thought to each one. So my suggestion would be to just apply. Yeah, give it a shot. If the mentees will be presenting at their experience, what is the timeline for site visits for mentors? Yeah, that's a great question. That's something that we're still working out particularly. So at the moment, once this is all done and Brad and I meet, we'll send out the applications. And then like we sort of discussed, this hasn't occurred for a while now. So we're going to, timelines and all that are up in the air. It's kind of difficult at the moment to really judge exactly. When we start putting deadlines to things, I don't want to, rush anybody. But, with the AERA conference coming up in April, right? Or May. That's a little bit quick. And that's kind of why I was thinking, well, maybe if it's not that, we can even hold another thing, kind of like what we're doing now for the Early Career Mentoring Committee, and just have you speak there instead of maybe at the conference if that timeline's really short. So, but that's a great question. Yeah. And if I didn't answer that, please reach out to me. Kristen, how many spots do you have available? Good question. We were initially thinking 3 or 4 spots. Looking at funding, looking at the availability of mentors. That could change a little bit. I don't think it'll go lower. But at the moment, we're thinking in 3, 4, 5 range, something between there. Oh, there you go, Celeste. I got your email. Yeah, so but please, like I said, fill out the application. If you're picked up, then perfect. If not, then we'll let you know kind of at the end of this. We'll give a summary of how things looked, what the timelines look like, what some of the positives that came out of this were, and some of the hurdles that maybe I'll have to jump over for next year to improve this thing. So I know I'm a nobody, but please just work with me on this one. And, I'm going to do my best to get everyone, where they want to be as much as I can. Okay, April, Chicago. Okay. All right. I forget where, ARA was San Diego last year. That's right. Sorry. These conferences tend to run into each other sometimes. All right. Let me check the Q&A. Ooh, these are good questions. Okay. Oh, you were late. Oh, yeah. It'll be recording or recorded. It's being recorded right now, but it'll be posted on ARA, and I'll get you the site. Oh, anonymous attendee. If you can just shoot me an email, my email's right there, or if you can send it in a chat or something, I'll be happy to let you know whenever that information is available. I answered that one live, I think. All right. Hey, if anyone has any other, okay, cool, perfect. If anyone has any other questions, any comments, concerns, any ideas, I'm totally open to everything. We're excited. We want this program to have started for quite a while now, but it's just been difficult, with COVID going up and down in waves, and it's just been a crazy place to live in for a few years. But we're finally getting back. We're finally getting things started, and it'll be a good time. And like I said, oh, sorry. I'm just getting over a sickness myself. I'll be on here for as much as I could. Oh yeah. I'm not exactly sure where it'll be posted. Oh, you're welcome.
We'll
But
send the link out through the listserv, Raymond, and it'll be posted on the Division H site, but we'll send the link out through the same listserv that everyone was notified about the webinar. So
perfect. Yeah, thank you, Brand. Well, there you go. So if you receive this email through the link, through the listserv, you'll have that available. If not, feel free to reach out to me. And then we can either get you linked up with the right people to get on the listserv, and I'll do everything I can for you. All right. What I push down? Oh, I do push down on these. Okay. So does anyone have any other questions? Anything they like to discuss? I'm open to any feedback as well. So yeah, thank you, Junfu. All right. Looks like some people are. Oh, there we go. Question answer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. Let's see, Jason. Oh yeah. Thank you. No, yeah. That's amazing. I was real nervous to do this. So it's a new program. We're not new, but it's coming back. So I was nervous about what information I'd even be able to provide. So I appreciate you. Oh, hey, Celeste. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's my honor. It's a privilege. And I'll email you too, because I want to put you in touch with Dr. Cross. So yeah, absolutely. All right, let me see. All right. Yeah. If no one has any questions or any, comments, no, I don't want to keep you past whenever you need to be here. So feel free to reach out to me. Then again, is my email, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you. Oh, hey, thanks, Andy. Yeah, you're awesome, man. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, everyone. Well, it was about half as long as we thought, but you know, will you email us the application? Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, Kristen Villanueva. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. I'll likely what'll happen is somewhat similar to the link for this. Once the application is ready, we'll make an announcement through the listserv, and you'll be able to apply. That, excuse me, the application is built. I just want to make sure that all the little gears are turning in the right way. So, but it should be ready shortly. So yeah, absolutely. And then again, if a week goes by or so and you haven't heard anything, or you just have questions, you feel free to hit me up, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you. All right. If there's nothing else, I will see everyone later. Have a great Thursday. Yeah, have a great Thursday. Wait, Wednesday? Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday. Jesus. And I wish you all the best. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.